2024 was an incredible year for VR. Every month we got some incredible new games that continue to prove that VR is more than just a gimmick and can provide a worthwhile and fun gaming experience. Now that 2025 is here, I decided to revisit each month of the year and highlight a new game that helped make 2024 the incredible year for VR that it was. And now I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just another top 10 list? No. It's a top 12 list. Starting off the year with a bang, we have a mech fighting roguelite that puts you directly in the action by having you physically control a giant mech suit. Thrown into an underground arena, you have to fight off other fighters and mechanical monsters, all while trying to avoid the destruction of your own mech suit. The movement utilizes your arms, similar to Gorilla Tag, and the amount of damage and destruction you can do with your weapons and the environment is mind-blowing. Now, it is a roguelike, so dying over and over again is expected, but the game gives you plenty of chances to upgrade your gear along the way in order to give you that extra edge to make it to the city. If you think you can rise through the ranks of the underground and make it to the city, this game is available for $30 on Quest and PC VR, with a PSVR 2 launch confirmed becoming early this year. Following the hype of the popular TV show, February brought us Stranger Things VR, one of the most anticipated story games for VR. Following the story of Vecna after he got sent to the Upside Down by Eleven, this game is much more than just an interactive story. There's plenty of action-packed gameplay that not only keep you super engaged, but also make you feel as powerful as Vecna in the TV show, with his telekinesis and whatever this thing is, the black goo? The tentacles? I don't know. It's unclear if the game is canon to the show, but even if it isn't, it's still an incredible and visually stunning story game. On top of the fun gameplay and intriguing story, there's a mixed reality level where you play as one of Vecna's victims before he's taken. You get to open portals, fight off bat demons, and eventually, the world just collapses around you. It's pretty freaking cool, dude. If you want to play as Vecna and experience the Stranger Things universe with your own eyes, this game is available for $20 on Quest, PC VR, and PSVR 2, and it's a very cool experience that any Stranger Things fan would enjoy. What the hell is second person? I mean, we have first and third person perspectives, but what the hell is second person? Well, with VR being around for multiple years, we finally have some answer to this question, with Max Mustard being one of those answers. March brought us this platformer where you not only control Max, but can also influence and interact with the world they're also in. It's a super unique take on platformers like Mario, and it's a really trippy experience controlling both third and first person perspectives at the same time. This game creates a fun and engaging experience for players who are both new to VR, as well as veterans of VR looking for a new gameplay experience. If you want to experience what Two Dimensions really feels like, you can find Max Mustard on Quest, PC, and PSVR 2 for $30. It's a really cool experience that brings us further into understanding what exactly second person is. Everyone is sick of battle royales at this point, right?
No.
Okay, well, Population 1 is too boring for you. April brought us this new battle royale from the developers of Contractors. Contractors Showdown is fast-paced, intense, and has some incredible moments. You've got plenty of guns to loot and shoot, a wide open map to explore, and plenty of ways to customize your avatar and weapons to dominate on the battlefield. I played this game during the beta, and I had an absolute blast running around, collecting gear, and dying a lot because, I'm be honest, I suck at VR shooters. Despite that, I was having an absolute blast with this game, and it's clear that this is a labor of love from Caveman Studio. Even if battle royales aren't your thing, there's currently an alpha test happening for a future extraction mode similar to Ghost of Tabor, and from what I've seen, it appears to be going extremely well. If you want to dive in and claim another victory royale, wow, that was the cringiest thing I've ever said. You can find this game on Quest and PC VR for $20. It's one of the most polished battle royale games I've played, and dare I say, it may have overthrown Population 1 as the top VR battle royale. Okay, I'm cheating a little bit here. May was slow for VR releases, and while this game didn't technically come out in May, its early access did, but its full release was in September. So I'm not cheating that much, okay? Does anyone remember when Prop Hunt was super big on YouTube? Well, now it's in VR with this super unique take on it. May introduced the world to Mannequin, a new take on this formula that consists of 2 elite agents being tasked with hunting down 3 aliens who can hide in plain sight. And while the agents have means of tracking down and taking out the aliens, they're outnumbered and can be easily ambushed if they aren't careful. It's both slow and fast-paced, and both nerve-wracking and super fun for both sides. On top of the super fun and intense gameplay loop, it recently got mod support, giving you a near infinite way to customize both your agent and your alien. If you want to experience this super unique take on the prop hunt formula in VR, you can find Mannequin on Quest and PC VR for $20. And now if you'll excuse me, someone's coming to hunt me down. Time for me to blend in as a mannequin. Am I hiding good? Unarguably the biggest release up to this point, Blade and Sorcery finally got its 1.0 launch in June of this year, and it did not disappoint in the slightest. On top of updating the combat in sandbox mode, Warp Frog finally added a full campaign to this game with an upgrade system, a functional shop, boss fights, and a fully fleshed out story to explore. Not only that, but this game has full native mod support for custom weapons, maps, items, spells, and so much more. This game has been a labor of love for the past couple of years, and Warp Frog did not hold back with making the best fantasy sword fighting VR game in VR. Wow. I made a full dedicated video on the 1.0 update, so if you want to see more about it, go check it out. And if you want to experience the magic and fantastic combat this game has to offer, you can find it on PC and PSVR 2 for $30, as well as Quest, which is under a slightly different name, but it's the same price. Have you ever wanted to play a Smash Bros game in VR? Well, now with this game, you can play a better version of Smash Bros. You heard me right, I said it. July brought us Brazen Blaze, an action-packed brawler where 2 teams of 3 fight it out to become the president of the world. It's fast, it has cool power-ups, it has a completely destructible environment, and it is one of, if not the first VR game, to blend melee and ranged combat into player versus player combat perfectly. The best part? You get to punch your enemies with so much force, they fly into the stratosphere. With multiple characters to choose from, and so many unique ways to play and customize, there is so much potential for a chaotic and fun time in this game. If you want to experience the chaotic fun this game has to offer, you can find it on PC VR and Quest for $15. This has genuinely been some of the most fun I've had in a multiplayer VR game in a while, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I've spent a little more time than is healthy in this game. I swear I don't have a problem. Can someone explain to me where the hell these sim games are coming from? Supermarket Simulator, Trading Card Store Simulator, Snail Simulator, and now this game? Actually, wait, this game actually looks kind of cool. August brought us another game in the very long list of sim games, but with the addition of it being in VR and being much more engaging. Arcade Paradise lets you build up and manage your very own arcade. There's this 80s retro theme to the game that makes both the world and the minigames feel incredibly nostalgic. Best of all, you can actually play the arcade games in your arcade as much as you want. Finally, I no longer have to ask my parents for quarters whenever I run out. Wait, people don't use quarters for arcades anymore? In addition to all this, if you're playing on Quest, it has a mixed reality mode that lets you physically play the machines in your home. This game has tons of charm for people who remember the thrill of arcades, and if you're looking to experience this charm for yourself, you can find this game on Quest, PC VR, and PSVR 2 for $20. Picture this, Doom, but it's also a rhythm-based game like Osu or Beat Saber. The result of this is a kick-ass first-person shooter with a super unique flow and super fun gameplay loop. September brought this well-renowned flat-screen game into VR, and it is the most intense, chaotic, and metal first-person shooter on the VR market. With a wide variety of weapons to choose from, you'll be blasting your way through hell to the soundtrack of some intense heavy metal. And the rush you get from this game is unmatched by any other rhythm game on the market. While I wouldn't recommend it to newer VR users due to its super fast-paced nature, those accustomed to VR can appreciate how we finally have a Doom-like game in VR that's actually good. If you want to blast your way through hell to the soundtrack of heavy metal, you can find this game on Quest, PC VR, and PSVR 2 for $30. Blasting demons in VR to heavy metal never felt so good. The most hyped VR game of this year came in swinging and swinging hard. October saw the launch of Batman Arkham Shadow, and it's easily one of the best VR games that the Quest 3 has to offer. Not only is it a fantastic Arkham game, but it's an incredible VR game. I could easily make a 4-hour video essay on how incredible this game is due to its combat, its story, and all the small details that make it not only an awesome VR game, but also an incredible Arkham game as well. Oh wait, I already did that. You should check it out. It's a pretty cool video. It's not 4 hours long, don't worry. If you want to become Batman in VR and save Gotham City from the Rat King, you can find this game on Quest for $50 as a Quest 3 and Quest 3S exclusive. Additionally, any newly purchased Quest 3 or Quest 3S headsets will come with this game for free. Only until April, so you better hurry on that. Survival horror and VR go perfectly together. The combination of the two is up there with the likes of Peanut Butter and Jelly, Black and White, Unis and Honest, and the Quest 3 and their god-awful head straps they continue to ship with their headsets to this day. No, I am not over how bad this thing is. November brought us a new addition to Metro, a well-known survival horror franchise that no one was expecting to get a VR game. And it is phenomenal. It's scary, it's tense, it has a great story, and it has tons of small and immersive details that make the world around you feel more real and believable. There are plenty of ways the game just fucks with you from a physical and psychological perspective, and it's one of the most engaging survival horror games that VR has to offer. I made a full video on this game as well, so if you want to see my full opinions on this game, check out that video. If you want a scary VR game that is bound to leave you on the verge of shitting yourself, you can find this game on Quest, PC VR, and PSVR 2 for $40. After the massive flop that was The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution, Skydance Interactive needed some time to cook with their next title, and cook they absolutely did. December brought us Skydance's Behemoth, and it is one of the best medieval sword fighting games ever made for VR. Taking place in a land ruled by these hulking creatures called behemoths, you need to make your way through the Forsaken Lands to destroy them and break the curse that has plagued the land for centuries. The combat is the highlight of this game, and while it's tricky to master, nothing is stopping you from absolutely dominating every enemy you encounter. And slaying the towering behemoths is one of the most epic things I've ever done in VR. If you want to fight your way through the Forsaken Lands and slay the behemoths, you can find this game on Quest, PC VR, and PSVR 2 for $40. If there is any game from this list I would recommend, it's this game. Despite this game showing up late to the party, this is hands down my favorite VR game released in 2024, and I'm super excited to see where Skydance takes the game in terms of DLC, as well as the experimental arena mode that's currently in beta. And that wraps up my list of the top VR games of 2024. A few honorable mentions I want to give are to the Arizona Sunshine remake, Maestro, and Subside. All of these games are fantastic and super worth playing, but unfortunately didn't make this list due to other games taking their place. But hey, these are all my opinions, so what do you think? Did you enjoy all the games on this list? Did you play them all? Do you have a problem? I certainly don't. Let me know down below what your favorite VR games of 2024 were. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, then do that subscribe thing, follow my socials, join my Discord, and I still don't have an outro. But I have a lot of content I can turn to shorts. Ah ha ha ha!